Oh,
and Nocturna.
What's up, fellas and ladies?
That's funny. That reminds me of a comedy bit I seen one time where there's this dude, he was talking about the phrase he or she.
Yeah.
He said the phrase he or she is 100% uttered by men who had fully intended to use the word he. It's like he or she. Said they are completely unaware of a magical term called they. Yes, we are doing another episode of the podcast here, and this is the finale of our Black Panther discussions. That hit me.
You too, man. What? 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 What is going on? I don't understand it.
Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about last time. Like, it's probably not a good idea that we duel each other while we're doing this.
Yeah, you should probably heal up there, Pontiff. Ah, I can't tell where you're at.
I am everywhere and nowhere. Oof.
I can't tell what you're doing. It's not fair. Ah! I saw that. I'm gonna get a random parry on you.
Oh,
whatever. Whatever.
I am the laggiest man alive.
Oh, good lord. That was an exercise in futility.
Indeed.
Yeah, you go ahead and play a game, do whatever you're gonna do. I'm just gonna sit back, relax, and focus on this podcast here, because cooperative gameplay at times such as these seem to be rather difficult.
Right. Okay.
Do 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 do.
Okay. So one thing I should say that I think will be a bit refreshing for you is that the storyline we're going over today is very different from the Black Panther storylines that we've been doing so far. For a couple of reasons.
Knowing that I had swallowed my own tooth.
I bet. So a couple things real quick.
I might mention the reason it was so unpleasant. Not only did I swallow it, but I crunched it up like it was a
nasty fuck.
I mean, all I could taste was butter, okay? I thought it was a popcorn kernel. And then I started tasting blood, and I'm like, what is going on here? What? There's blood in my popcorn.
Act now and get a double-sized order of Nielsen teeth, the only teeth strong enough to eat other teeth.
I just watched that episode last night, dude.
Did you?
I did. Yeah.
That's such a cringy clip.
I know, and he
It's
just
a
eats a
bowl
whole
full of teeth.
mouthful. Just,
That's definitely what they were going for. But yeah, as I said, one of the things that we were kind of that I'm sure a lot of people were kind of wondering about was a couple of weeks ago when Killmonger was doing the rite of ascension to become the Black Panther, and he died. You know, you've probably been sitting there wondering, like, why did the heart-shaped herb kill Eric Killmonger?
I figured it was just because it's kind of like Thor's hammer. You know, you have to be worthy of the mantle, otherwise it kills you. That's what I was thinking.
Well, a big part of it is that T'Challa's bloodline, since they've been doing it for so many generations, have built up a tolerance to it.
So that's also why the common person isn't just going around eating heart-shaped herb.
Right.
It's incredible. I'm assuming it's incredibly toxic.
Yes. It is. So that's part of why
I killed him.
he was killed. Also, what we're picking up now in the story takes place several months after the end of the last one.
Gotcha.
So T'Challa disappears.
Yeah.
Several months later, here we are.
He has yet to be found?
Yes. No one knows where he is. No one's seen him. Many people assume him to be dead. Largely in part due to the fact that M'Baku murdered a T'Challa.
Right. So everybody assumes that the T'Challa that he murdered was the real one.
Well, some people do. I wouldn't say everyone.
Except for the person who stumbled upon his suit draped across the throne. That had to raise some eyebrows.
Well, I will say this. The person that stumbled across the suit did not stumble across the suit that was draped across the throne. In the first episode of this that we did, when T'Challa first encountered Nightshade, the bank-robbing chemical genius.
Yep.
She hit him with that chemical or whatever that like eroded his suit off of him.
Uh-huh.
And then so he like ditched it and then got a new one. Well, that suit that he ditched in Harlem is the suit in question.
Oh, so it's the tattered, eroded one.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Basically what happened was he ditched it there in Harlem, and Sergeant Torque, the cop friend who he palled around with in that episode as well, found it and hid it in his apartment, just kept it. And then a character by the name of Casper found it in Torque's apartment and stole it.
Okay.
So two big characters that are like explain the protagonist of this storyline. There's two characters you know. There's Blackjack and Casper. Okay, Blackjack, back in the day, was widely considered to be the best cop ever.
Cool.
He was the best, noblest, most badass cop to ever be on any police force ever. Everybody called him Blackjack because he was super dark skin. And then he has a son, Casper, who's extremely light skinned, which is why everyone calls him Casper.
Right.
Casper.
Comment.
Do what?
No comment. Blackjack and Casper.
Right. Well, Blackjack married a white Jewish woman, and
Gotcha.
their son is mixed race, and so he's significantly lighter skinned than Blackjack. and he kind of exists in that, like, pun intended, gray area, where like all the black people in Harlem are like, "You white ass bitch," you know.
Right.
But then he's also part black, so.
Right.
But Casper grows up and also becomes a police officer. And see, the thing about Blackjack is that, like I said, he was considered to be like the best cop around, best cop ever, real down to earth. Everybody respected him. And then all of a sudden, he gets set up and framed.
Really?
For like dealing drugs, and gets sent to prison. And part of the reason Casper became a cop was to try to clear Blackjack's name.
I don't know, I'd find that pretty hard to believe, man. It'd be like RoboCop getting busted with a kilo of meth. I'm pretty sure that something happened there.
Right. Well, you know, it's that old adage. It's easier to fool someone than it is to convince them that they've been fooled.
Ooh, I like that saying. I've never heard that one.
Yes, it definitely rings true. Also, there's a character who's been around this whole time, but I've never really talked about because it's never really been a significant character. But they do make a bit of an appearance here. The person, you know, like the Dora Milaje?
Yeah.
Well, there's a woman who trains them.
Yeah.
She's known simply...
What, trains them to be Dora Milaje, or trains them to be warriors?
Warriors.
Okay.
But she also knows all about the Dora Milaje, so it's kind of both. But she trains them to be combat ready to be a Dora Milaje, and also teaches them like the foundations and stuff of what it means.
The traditions and such, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Cool. She is known simply as Mama.
Mama.
And Mama is a big old fat girl. She's this old fat lady. But she's a bad bitch. And you definitely don't want to mess with her. But I just wanted to mention that.
Right, I don't think I'll be forgetting that name anytime soon.
But
Mama. Mom.
No,
Mama. No.
So,
or as they like to say, Meemaw. Yeah. No, that's grandma, ain't
it? That is one thing that I think is like exclusive to like white people. Is that every single white person in America has a different name for their grandparents. Like,
yeah,
you'd be like, yeah, this is my moo moo and pee pee. Like, this is my meow meow and paw paw. Like, this is and Baba.
This is my Gemus Maximus, man.
Right.
Wait, what?
Come on, man. Like, I personally, with
spitting G's since 1933s.
In my family, it's Mamaw and Pepaw.
Namaw?
It's Mamaw and Pepaw.
Pepaw, like Peppa. Pepaw.
Yeah.
What's up, Peepaw?
That's something funny too. That's what is the one drawback to being like a grandfather is that like you could be the baddest dude around. You could be like a CIA spy or like a fucking cage fighter or like a bear wrestler or something, and then a 4-year-old says some stupid sound, and next thing you know, you're known as pee poop for the rest of your life. Like,
pee poop the manslayer.
Alright, so moving on, jumping in. So This story starts off. Casper has just been suspended from the police force when it's found out that he wasn't wearing his bulletproof vest on a drug bust that went south.
That's why he got suspended?
Yes.
Interesting.
But the reason he wasn't wearing his vest is because he was wearing the Panther suit under his clothes. But he couldn't say that.
Even better.
Yeah, but he couldn't
so
say
you were
that.
Like the best vest.
Yeah, but he couldn't tell him that. So he got a suspension.
Hello?
Yep.
Yeah, alright, I can hear you now.
Yeah, he got suspended because he wasn't wearing a vest. He thinks that this was a setup.
What was the drug bust that he was on?
Yes, because it went south. It didn't go the way how it was planned to go. A bunch of people almost got killed. It was a very hairy situation. But in his mind, he's like, something's up here. This has got to be some kind of setup. He thinks that a dirty cop told the criminals that they were on their way.
Huh. So they were prepared.
Yeah. So he's going around the city while he's on suspension in the Black Panther suit, trying to find out who set him up.
Well, that's going to attract a lot of attention, though, like some unwanted enemies that he doesn't know.
Right.
Well, I mean, how much does the suit still look like Black Panther?
Basically, he has the mask, the torso, and the boots.
But aren't they compromised? Or no?
I mean, kinda. But he wears like blue jeans, and he wears a like a leather coat over the suit. So like the damage to the sleeves and stuff from the erosion aren't visible.
Right. Oh, another thing that just happened that was hilarious. Your voice lagged out, and this is what I heard. You're like, I mean, I was like, yeah, that's a serious meme, man.
Right. So in this process, one day he's out minding his own business. He's out at the store, like just buying some crap, like a gallon of milk or a pack of cigarettes, I don't know, something. And while he's standing in line, the white wolf walks up to him. And he's like, "Hey, what's your deal?"
What? Okay, if you're, I'm not sure what's happening, but the connection seems to be dithering in and out. Okay, he was standing in line buying something, and then what happened?
The white wolf approaches him in the store.
Oh, fun.
And it's like, "Hey, who do you think you are?"
Wait, he was wearing the Black Panther suit buying a gallon of milk?
No, but
okay.
but it's the white wolf. He knows who's wandering around in this Panther suit. He's been watching him. But he approaches him and he's like, "I know who you are. I know your name. I know where you live. I know what you do for a living. And I know that you blaspheme my nation by wearing that. And I want to know why you're wearing it." And then and pretty much Casper's like, "Well, look, man, the entire time I've been wearing this, no other Black Panthers have come here and complained." And White Wolf is like, "Well, that's because T'Challa is dead, because he believes that he's dead."
Right.
And he's like, "But that still doesn't give you the right to wear this." But then the White Wolf makes him an offer, and he says, "I will be willing to guide you on a journey of enlightenment to where you can earn the right to wear that suit."
Ooh, a new quest has started. Awesome. Right. I need a quest like that in my life.
And Casper says, "Nah, I'm good. I'm only going to need this for a couple of days. I'm just trying to figure out who set me up, and I don't want everybody knowing it's me. It's the only reason I'm wearing it. After that, I don't need it anymore." So they part ways. And then Casper, as Black Panther, goes and raids this gang's stronghold, try to like beat them up and get information out of them. It's also worth mentioning, like the big gang going that's like running stuff at this moment is called 66 Bridges.
And where are they at again? This is where?
Harlem.
Okay. 66 Bridges.
Yes. And 66 Bridges is a gang. They started out dealing drugs, you know, and all that stupid crap. Your basic drug, you know, crime, organized crime shit. And then they realized that you can make a lot more money if you're a non-profit organization. So they gained legitimacy and started using their drug money to like fund scholarships and shit like that. So they got like doctors. Really? They got like doctors and judges and all kinds of people that like owe them massive favors because they're like, hey, we paid your way.
Right.
And
so they've got a lot of shit in their back pocket.
Oh yeah, they're officially known as the 66 Bridges Foundation, but they're a straight up gang. And they even have like a PR firm on retainer.
Oh man.
Yeah. So Casper, as the Black Panther, raids kind of like an accounting session of the 66 Bridges. Like the gang, and they're paying off all the dirty cops in the area. And they're splitting their money up and stuff. And
but Casper, it almost looks like a city council meeting or something, right? You know?
Right.
Looks legitimate, illegal though. Drug monies and all kinds of shit going on.
Right.
Dirty dangles.
So he storms in, beats a bunch of them up, he's trying to figure out like who the dirty cops are. Doesn't really get a lot of information out of it because Casper isn't quite a superhero. He's still, you know, new.
Still, he's kick-ass.
Right. It's very similar.
Get it?
Yes. I love Kick-Ass. I love Kick-Ass.
Right.
His whole shtick is that he can get his ass kicked and keep going. He's Kick-Ass. Go ahead, kick my ass. See what happens. So then he goes to Sergeant Torque's house because Torque is his sergeant, it's his supervisor. So he goes to Torque's house because he knows that Torque has met T'Challa, and he's like,
"No, are you saying Torque or Torg?"
Torque, T-O-R-K.
Like, oh, okay, like a torque wrench, but with a K.
Yeah, because since Torque has history with the Panther, he's like, I'm gonna go see if he knows anything about this White Wolf character who has approached me. And so Torque tells him, "Hey, hand over the suit and stop messing with 66 Bridges. Because if they find out that it's you running around in this Panther suit, they're gonna kill you. They're gonna kill your mom. They're gonna kill your woman. They're gonna kill Blackjack." And Casper's like, "Nah, that's okay."
No, that's okay. I'll take that. Wow.
I mean, he's more like, I'll be alright. It's more like he doesn't really perceive the threat as serious as it is.
Kind of letting that suit get a little bit ahead of him, maybe.
Exactly. So then he goes to visit Blackjack in prison. And he tells him the story of his suspension. Tells him what happened. And he tells him, you know, I think that my lieutenant wants me in his pocket. I think the lieutenant's dirty, and I think he did this to see if I'm dirty.
So Torque's dirty?
No, Torque is sergeant.
Oh. Okay. Well, you just said lieutenant. Who's the lieutenant?
His name is Sal.
Oh, okay. Well, kind of skipped ahead on that. I didn't know you went to the lieutenant. I thought he was talking to Torque last.
No, he went to visit Blackjack at the prison.
Yeah.
And he says, I think the lieutenant is dirty. Also, in like cop culture and in firefighter culture, no matter what a lieutenant's name is, people typically call them Lou.
Right.
And in this story, they started off calling him Lou, and then later they started calling him by his real name, and it got kind of weird. But I just call him Lou.
Gotcha. Short for lieutenant.
Yeah. So he says, I think that Lou is dirty, and he wanted me to play ball, and since I'm up and coming, he was going to see if I was dirty, so he pulled this setup on me. And Blackjack says, well, odds are you're right. But since you're right, you pretty much have 4 options. Number 1, play ball. Be dirty, be in Lou's pocket. Number 2, report him to Internal Affairs, IA, and be in their pocket. Number 3, quit. Quit being a cop, go drive a cab. Or number 4, go to Lou's house, put a bullet in him, and be done with it, and live with it. Those are your options. Play ball, be straight, quit, or kill.
Right.
And Casper says, yeah, I guess I'm just going to go apologize to Lou and let it go and just try to do my job. And Blackjack says, well, if you're going to be a good cop, you're going to have to start lying a lot better than that.
Yeah, right. But you're going to apologize to him for what? That ain't going to help nothing, no?
Yeah, I know, but that's what he was like. If you're going to play ball, you got to go apologize to him because he suspended you, so you got to go say, I'm in the wrong.
Right.
So Casper leaves. That night, he goes out and he raids another 66 Bridges safe house, trying to get information again. And he corners one of the gang members in a bathroom, because he does it a little more stealthily this time. Instead of just busting in, he sneaks into the bathroom, and then one of them comes in there to rock a piss. He just grabs him. And, so he says, here's what I want you to do. Because the thing is, too, is that he's pretending to be T'Challa this whole time, too, while he's wearing the Black Panther. So he's like,
he wasn't pretending to be himself.
Yeah, he's like trying to do the accent and everything. But he says, he's pretty much like, here's what I want you to do. He goes, I want you to call up whatever dirty cop it is that you deal with and tell them that their protection is inadequate, that the Panther is harassing you, and that if they don't step it up, you're going to go somewhere else. You're going to take your money elsewhere to another dirty cop. And then he hands him a tape recorder. He says, you're going to record this conversation, and then you're going to await further instructions.
Yeah, wait, what? You cut out there. He handed him a tape recorder and said, what now?
He said, you're going to record this conversation.
Oh, okay.
And then await further instructions.
Okay.
While he's in the bathroom, White Wolf just appears because he's White Wolf. Because he's White Wolf.
And the T-Rex appears.
At one point, Casper's even like, "How'd you get in here?" And he goes, "Oh wait, never mind. If I can get in here, surely you can get in here." Like, like you're a White Wolf. But White Wolf just shows up and he tells Casper, "Hey," and he just like completely acts like he's oblivious to the fact that they're in like a somewhat dangerous situation here. He's just like, "Hey, while I got you here, I just wanted to let you know that I decided to help you out anyway, even though you said you didn't want it, because that's kind of my thing." He says, "I left
even an imposter, I want to help.
Right.
As long as you're wearing a Panther suit." I will serve you.
Right.
That seems to be White Wolf's thing. It's like, let me help you. No, I'm
Right.
good.
He says, I left you 50 cases of non-lethal 9mm rounds outside your apartment.
50 cases?
Yeah.
Good lord.
And then he just disappears, leaving Casper to deal with the 30 gangsters that are in the house, who by this point are aware that something's going down.
Right.
So
Yeah,
Casper,
that sounds like him.
yeah.
Pop in. Oh, hey, by the way, I left something at your place that's not currently here to help you out later. Good luck with this, bye.
So Casper opens up the window of the bathroom and to make it look like he jumped out the window, and then he hides in the bathtub and closes the curtain.
Huh.
All the
What
gangsters.
happened to the dude that he handed the tape recorder to? Did he just leave the bathroom?
He's still there. But all the gangsters storm the bathroom, and they're like looking around for him. They're like, he took off, blah blah blah. And then Casper just like jumps out of the tub, starts fighting them all, gets a big shootout with them. He escapes, and once again he goes to see Torque, the sergeant.
Right.
And once again Torque tells him, do not get involved with White Wolf. And he's like, actually, at this point, you need to move. Get out of here. Move to Queens. You'll like it there. And Casper's like, nah, I'm good.
Again?
Yeah. And on his way home, Casper is once again approached by the White Wolf, who shows up and he goes, hey, while I was out, I went and got all this information on Lou. Here's all of his offshore bank accounts. Here's proof that he's dirty. Here's the security codes for his house. Like,
Dude.
Yeah, all kinds of shit. And then he tells him the same thing that he always told T'Challa. Command me. Command me,
What?
and I will serve you.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
kind of a living a lie, man. He's like desperate to have T'Challa back.
Right. So he leaves Casper with all this info, and he gives him a new car with diplomatic immunity plates. And then Casper's sitting there thinking, like, man, this guy's for real. Like, but it's too good to be true. You know, like he's got to be bad.
Right,
He's
it
like,
does.
He's like, I think Torque is right. I don't need to be getting involved with him. So Casper takes off the suit, takes all the files, puts them all in the car, sets the whole car on fire, and walks away.
Really?
He's like, I'm
Interesting.
done. I'm going to listen to Torque. I'm going to do the right thing. I'm just going to go home to my woman, and we're not going to worry about this. So, some police in another precinct are investigating that shootout that they had at that 66 Bridges safe house.
The one that started in the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
The
And
one that just happened.
so while they're there investigating, trying to figure out what's going on, Lou shows up and then kind of like discreetly and super gangster like bribes the higher ups to back off because he's tied in with 66 Bridges. The gangster that Casper told to record the dirty cops,
Yep.
he's talking to Lou. And he tells Lou, hey man, your protection isn't enough. I got this Panther hassling me, and if you don't step it up, do some cop shit, I'm going to another precinct. And Lou's like, pulls his gun out, bow, shoots his ear off. He's like, hand over the recording device, bitch. Hand it over. What's going on? And he's like, you got me. He pulls the tape recorder out.
Holy shit, dude.
And hands it to him. And Lou says, so just a heads up, you're going to be found dead soon. Nothing personal.
Just casual as hell about it.
Right. But I'm leaving. And then Lou's sitting there like, this doesn't make any sense. He's like, so the Black Panther, the king of Wakanda, is running around breaking up 66 Bridges safe houses, shooting non-lethal rounds, and handing somebody a $10 tape recorder from Walmart? This is bullshit. What's really going on?
$10 tape recorder from Walmart. Yeah, that's not T'Challa at all.
Right. So, Casper wakes up the next morning. Torque is in his house. And Torque's like, hey man, suspension's over. We got work to do. When he gets up, Casper sees a Panther suit laying on his bed. And the car that he torched is parked outside.
What?
And he's like, what the fuck is this? He's like, no, man, I walked away from this. But obviously, White Wolf has just replaced all of these things.
Okay.
So he tells...
The Panther suit that he replaced, was it a fully functional Panther suit? Or still the same one? I wonder. I'm just...
Well, it's not the same one, because that one was torched.
Right.
So it's... pretty much, yeah. It's for all intents and purposes, it's fully functional, but like it's not exactly the same. Like he doesn't have like the cape and all the jewels and stuff.
Right. All the ceremonial garb.
Right. So
just the functionality of the Panther suit.
Right. So he tells Torque to park the car at the safe house in the projects that T'Challa used while he was in town. He's like, if everybody sees it there, they're going to think it's T'Challa, because everybody knows that that's where he stayed when he was here. So, Casper goes to work, and Lou assigns him to being a patrol cop again, instead of working narcotics. He's like, you're going to walk the beat for a while, keep your nose clean, we'll see what happens. So then Casper decides that he's just going to be a good cop. He's just going to do his job. And then on his off time, he's going to be Black Panther.
So patrol cop is the ones you see in the cars just driving around.
Yeah, doing traffic. Somebody gets in a car wreck. You got to go over and listen to them and figure out what happened, you know. But he's like, maybe I can be a real superhero. Keep the secret identity going. Be a cop during the day. At nighttime, be Black Panther. We'll see what's up. And then that night, he's sitting there thinking, and he's like, this whole thing about T'Challa just up and disappearing doesn't really make a lot of sense to me either. He's like, because if T'Challa was dead, I feel like everybody would know he was dead. Right. And he's like, so if T'Challa's alive, he definitely knows about me. And if he knows about me, that means he's somewhere close. So he goes to that safe house where T'Challa used to stay. And when he goes in there, he gets attacked by Okoye.
By who?
Okoye, the Dora Milaje.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then T'Challa comes out of the shadows and orders her to stand down.
Ah, so he is there.
Yeah, and he's like, I knew it. I knew your ass was here.
Right.
So, kind of shifting back to Lou. Lou and his crew killed that gangster that had the tape recorder.
Right. So, yeah, that promise was kept.
Yeah, they killed him pretty quick. They're running around town trying to clean up this mess caused by the new Panther. Mainly by bribing judges and etc. Then Lou remembers that Torque used to hang out with Black Panther. So he goes to Torque's house. He's like, hey, come out on the town with me, Torque. We need to talk. And he takes Torque out to a bar under the guise of discussing Casper's future in the Force. And while they're out, Lou has his guys search Torque's house. And they find all the Panther crap that he'd been holding on to for Casper. Because Casper couldn't keep his Panther shit at home, because he's got a girlfriend. He lives with his mom and all this shit. And he's like, and if people find this in my house, yeah.
So they think Torque.
They think yes, they think it's Torque.
Of course.
So back in the Project Safe House, T'Challa tells Casper, he says, "You blaspheme my entire nation by wearing that Panther suit. You're a foolish child." And Casper's like, "Look, I don't really give a shit about Wakandan pride or any of this hoodoo you got going on." And he goes, "And if it makes you feel better, I'll take this shit home and spray paint it and call myself Emerald Iguana if that helps." So you quit preaching at me.
Emerald Iguana. Something tells me that's not what he actually said, but we'll go with it.
No, he does say Emerald Iguana. He says I'll paint it green and call myself Emerald Iguana if it makes you feel better.
What the hell?
So T'Challa leaves, and Casper chases after him like, "No, man, I want answers. I want to know what's up. Like, I got too many questions, you know." And
right.
And then he's kind of intercepted by White Wolf, who informs Casper that Blackjack is in critical condition in the prison after someone tried to shank him, and then the guards beat him almost to death.
Right. So wait, so the black. So if he knows the real T'Challa is back, why is he trying to serve?
Well, with the White Wolf, his motives are never as they seem.
Right, that's what I'm trying to figure out. The White Wolf knows the real T'Challa is back now, right? Or no?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Because he was there.
Right.
He must have known. Interesting.
So, in a rage, Casper goes to the prison with the intention of breaking Blackjack.
Yeah.
And he gets to, like, the hole, like the solitary confinement, and opens up the cell, and T'Challa's in the damn cell by himself.
What?
And Casper's like, "What the fuck are you doing? How did you get here? Like, what?"
I swear, dude.
Right.
I swear.
He's like, "How do you?" He's like, "How do you do this?" And then so Casper just attacks T'Challa, thinking that he had something to do with Blackjack getting attacked as part of some like Panther-esque mind game. He's like, "Look, I know you. I know all about you." He goes, "You play these mind games, you disappear from one spot, you show up in another spot, you make everybody think they're idiots, and nobody knows what's going on, and the whole time you had this whole big plan." He's like, "I know. And so you had something to do with this." And T'Challa's like, "Actually, I didn't do this. I didn't have anything to do with it, and I only came here to the prison to prevent you from breaking Blackjack out, because this action would dishonor him. And you would dishonor your father by doing this."
Yeah, because then, for better or for worse, he is a real criminal.
Right.
If he gets broke out, then he becomes a felon regardless of whether those charges are dropped against him or not.
Right. So he's like, "All right, you're right." So he leaves. And then later, Casper ties up one of the guards who works at the prison and interrogates him. Find out who put the hit out on Blackjack. And the guard implicates one of Lou's guys. So Casper goes to Lou's house to search for clues.
Yeah, but Lou has no idea it's Casper. Lou thinks it's Torque. It's Torque. So why would he target Blackjack? Are Blackjack and Torque friends as well?
They've known each other for a long time. The degree to their friends is kind of up in the air. I'm not really sure, but yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out why Lou would target Blackjack if he didn't know anything about Casper yet.
I think targeting Blackjack was part of the same thing as like setting him up on the drug bust. Like he's just fucking with him,
trying to get rid of. Okay, I gotcha.
Like even though he doesn't know he's Panther, he's still trying to fuck with Casper to get him on the payroll.
Right.
So So while Casper's at Lou's house looking for clues, Lou walks in and sees him. And he's like, so, what happens now? And he goes, you've been running all over town. You've been doing this and that.
Wait, so Lou found Casper in his apartment. Now is Casper dressed as the Black Panther?
Yes, for sure.
So he knows it's Casper now.
No, he just knows it. He just knows it's Panther.
Oh, okay, all right, gotcha. So he doesn't know it's Casper. He just thinks it's Panther in his apartment.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So he's like, what happens now? You know, he's like, you've been running all over town. You've been busting my work, all this shit. And he goes, see, but he tells Panther, he's like, here's what's up. He goes, I know you. He goes, I know who you are. And Casper's like, oh shit.
Right, but it's the wrong guess.
Right, it is the wrong guess.
But he still doesn't know that at that moment.
Right. So Casper just takes off. He's like, I'm fucking out of here. Fuck this. And he leaves. Yeah. So Casper leaves and goes to Torque's house, and he's like, the jig is up, man. You start getting excited, motherfucker. They're on to me. He's like, my identity's out. My family's in danger. And Torque's like, yeah, I knew something was up when Lou showed up to take me out to a bar. I figured they were searching my place. I've been sweeping the place for bugs every hour. Torque's like, look, go home. Stop trying to be a superhero. Think of your family. Because he's like, look, he goes, I've known a few of these costume people. People don't just get up and put on a suit and start running around town. He's like, you're obsessed with it. They become obsessed with this action. He goes, that's not you. You're not like that. This life isn't for you. Go home. So he's like, all right, man, I'm going home. So after Casper leaves, Lou and his guys show up and kidnap Torque.
Right.
And then,
man, here we go.
Yeah, they got
At least
him.
This is not that confusing. It's not that good, but damn, everybody's like wrong. Everybody's missing the nail by a little bit.
Yeah, dude.
Like I feel like they're trying to build a house, but they keep pounding their fingers.
Right. So they're torturing him and kidnapping him about what he knows.
Torturing him.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. They're trying to figure out what he knows.
What the hell did Torque do?
They think he's the Panther.
Poor guy. I know, but I feel sorry for him. Like, he didn't do shit.
Right. He really did. So, like I said, they're torturing him. They're interrogating him. They're like, what do you know? Whose names do you have? Blah, blah, blah. And Torque's like, dude, y'all are dumb as fuck.
Right.
He's like, the main reason being, we've known each other for 20 years. I know exactly who's under all these ski masks y'all got on, man. He's like, you're Johnson, you're Robertson, you're this.
I know him. What are you?
Yeah, and then they're like, so what, you thought you were just going to put a Panther suit on and bring us all down? And Torque's like, wait, you think... Ha 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 ha!
You think Shrek is your true love? Right. That moment from Shrek.
Yeah. And so he just busts out laughing. He's like, oh man, you guys think I'm the Panther? So, then the leader of the 66 Bridges comes in.
Hey, what's up? What's up, dude?
And the leader's name is Kibuka.
Really? Mouth noise.
Your mic's like in your mouth.
Mouth noise.
But yeah, they call him Kibuka. No one knows who Kibuka is. He wears a mask. In the art samples, it's like that weird looking like African guy mask thing.
Okay. You talking about the one that looks like a tribal mask?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that might have been what's his name from the last episode? The one that could speak to the or like what was his name?
Dr.
He
Voodoo.
had powers of the veil or whatever.
Yeah, Dr. Voodoo.
Yeah, Voodoo.
No,
I thought it was Dr. Voodoo.
That is Kibuka. So Kibuka enters. He's got two blades, one in each hand. He puts them both to Torque's throat. And he says, "You're gonna tell me what I want to know." And Torque is like sitting there thinking. He's like, "No, I'm not, but I will tell him what he wants to hear." And Torque says, "You got me. I'm the Black Panther." And
talk about taking a bullet for the team.
Yeah, and they kill him.
They what?
They kill him.
Oh, come on. Seriously? Damn it, man. I didn't see that one coming.
So, Casper goes to a high-rise apartment of one of the higher-ups of the 66 Bridges, named Triage. He's like the second in command to Kabuka. So, because he's still trying to investigate what's going on. And he's sitting there, like, digging through his desk, and then Triage walks in and sees...
Dude, this guy kind of sucks at what he does,
He
don't he?
fucking sucks. Yeah, dude. He's only been doing it for, like, a week. He just walks
like
in.
amateur hour around.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
He already got an innocent killed, and you got caught twice.
Yeah.
Dude.
So he sees him on the computer. And so he's like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And so Triage basically is like, "All right, I'm gonna offer you a deal." He goes, "Cause I know why you're."
Wait, is he in a Panther suit again?
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
So he offers him a deal. He says, "The thing is, you sit here and act like you want to bring this gang down." He goes, "But I know the truth. You're after Lou." He goes, "That much is clear. All of the hell you've been raising has been all of the things that Lou is involved in, not all the things that the entire gang has been involved in." And he goes, "And it's starting to make me think that Lou ain't worth the money we're paying him. That maybe we can get another Lou, a cheaper Lou." And he goes, "So here's the deal. We'll give you Lou, and you back off the rest of the gang." Casper's like, "Nah, I'm good."
Okay, dude.
He turns down the deal. He's like, "No, I'm good." He turns down the deal. So when he turns the deal down, Triage just throws a stun grenade at him. Goes off and starts.
This guy's badass. He's just walking around like in casual business wear with a stun grenade in his pocket.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So they get in a big fight. And then all of a sudden, Casper hears T'Challa's voice. He's like, "Where's that coming from?" And T'Challa's like, "There's a communication device in the mask."
Okay. All right. Real quick though, you know what? I just thought about that for home defense, dude. How cool would that be? Somebody tries to break into your house and you just hit them with a stun grenade.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to see that coming for a mile, dude.
Right. You'd better have the range on that thing down though, because if you're off by a little bit, you're getting smashed with it.
No, I'm just gonna toss it and jump behind the wall somewhere, dude.
Right. Boo!
Dude, I'm definitely looking into that now. Is it legal for a civilian to own a stun grenade?
Right.
It's boogaloo time, buddy.
Right.
Break in here.
So as T'Challa starts talking to him through like a communicator in the mask.
Right.
And so he starts giving him instructions. He's like, "You gotta get out of there." He's like, "You're foolish. You're a foolish child. You bring danger and dishonor upon yourself and your whole family."
So it's basically Morpheus talking to Neo for the first time here at this point.
Yes, exactly.
Stay down, stay left.
Exactly. Except that Neo listens.
Right.
So T'Challa's like, "You need to leave immediately. This is very unwise, you coming here. You should never have done it." And so Casper ends up in like a shootout with like this guy, because Triage called in on like reinforcements. So there's all kinds of gangsters running around trying to kill him, and so he's trying to escape and live.
So this is a really good example of what happens if an average person just tries to jump in and start being a superhero. You're getting fucked up by a small time. I mean, maybe not a small time gang, but for somebody as prestigious as the actual Black Panther,
it's definitely not Doctor Doom or Magneto.
Right.
So the gang even has this chopper flying around outside providing air support because they think it's T'Challa.
Right.
So
They
they're
call it
bringing
in the big gun.
yeah. And T'Challa tells Casper, head to the elevator, take the elevator to the ground floor, and head out. And Casper's like, no, I got a better plan. So Casper jumps out the window and tries to like grab onto like the leg of the chopper, like you see.
Dude, this dude's gonna die.
Right, like you see in the movies.
This dude's gonna die. He's
And
gonna
he
kill
jumps out and he
himself.
goes to reach it and he misses it.
Oh, dude.
And he starts falling. And this apartment's on the 62nd floor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. That's terminal velocity.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he sees a flagpole sticking out of a building. He's like, I've seen Spider-Man and Daredevil do this 100 times.
Dude, oh
he's like,
my
you
God.
grab the pole, you swing around, you slow your momentum, you know. And so he grabs the flagpole, and the flagpole just breaks off the building. He's like, shit. It always works for the white boys.
Oh, I saw that art sample. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what was happening right there.
Yeah, so he grabs it and it breaks off and falls with him. And he gets like all tangled up in this big flag and he's like wadded up in a ball. And he's just falling, just free falling. And the flag gets hooked on a stoplight.
How lucky.
Yeah. So then he like claws his way out of the flag to try to get free. He just like rips it open to where like he can see. And then it just rips all the way. He falls the rest of the way to the ground and lands on a car. And he's like, oh, I'm all fucked up. And as he's laying there, an internal affairs officer walks up to him. And he's like, yeah, we need to talk. And then, so they ride off together. And the IA cop tells him, he's like, look, I know everything. He's like, I know that he goes, I know you're Casper Cole. I know you're Black Panther. I know that Lou thinks that Torque's Black Panther. And the only reason you're alive is because Lou's an idiot.
Yeah, Torque's dead now, by the way, because of you.
He says, look, I knows about Lou. We know he's dirty. We're trying to build a case. And if you kill him, then or do something or get him killed, then 66 Bridges is just going to find another Lou. And he tells Casper, like, you need to go home, because if Lou finds out that Black Panther's still running around, he's going to know he's got the wrong guy, and it won't be long before he knows who the right guy is.
Right, now's your perfect chance, man. You want it out, now here's your out.
Right.
Get out while you can.
So...
This dude does not listen well.
Right.